to Sports Buds TV. Join in as we explore the latest news and thrilling matchups. Whether you're a diehard or a casual, this is your destination. All right. Welcome back, everyone. I've got a loaded episode for you all today. I want to talk about the NBA playoffs as the San Antonio Spurs are into the second round. I want to discuss Ty Simpson and that 13th overall pick by the Los Angeles Rams that a lot of people had something to say about. Then I'm going to wrap it up with boxing as we have a huge day in boxing tomorrow, May 2nd. But let's go ahead and get things going as the San Antonio Spurs are into the second round of the NBA playoffs. They'll be taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Of course, the Spurs took care of business, beating the Portland Trailblazers in 5 games. And we saw the Minnesota Timberwolves taking care of business, shorthanded as it was, against the Denver Nuggets. And now they'll be heading into that second round. As things currently stand, of course, the Spurs look like a well-oiled machine that is just running on all cylinders right now. And the Timberwolves are still taking care of business, though they're shorthanded, missing DiVincenzo, missing Ant-Man for week to week right now as he's listed with that injury. I think the San Antonio Spurs are going to be going to the Western Conference Finals, and they'll wait to see who's coming out of the other side of that bracket, where we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Los Angeles Lakers as the Lakers took care of business tonight against the Rockets. Looking forward to that Spurs run, making their way for that race for Sace. And then we'll move on now to the NFL and that controversial pick to some that the Los Angeles Rams did when they took Ty Simpson out of the University of Alabama, quarterback, with the 13th overall pick. Ty Simpson, of course, made news headlines when Dan Orlovsky was telling everybody that he should be the first quarterback taken in this year's draft. Now, as far as him and Fernando, I felt like Fernando had separated himself and had solidified himself as that number 1 overall pick for the Raiders. But when you take a step back and what the Rams did with their 13th overall pick, of course, people were ready to send them through the wood chipper because they didn't take a weapon that they could use, quote unquote, plug and play this year to continue their Super Bowl window aspirations. But taking that step back and really looking if the Rams are going to be as good as a lot of people think with their current roster, there's things you got to look forward to. Some of these young players that are already on the squad, they're going to be needing to get paid soon. We're hoping Matthew Stafford's going to stay as long as he's able to and continue that MVP run that he's on. But the future gets here and it waits for no one. So as far as the Rams taking Ty Simpson, the more that I've seen some of the film, the more of the breakdowns he's had on some of these interviews, the guy seems ready for the NFL. Not ready to start right away, but definitely one that you can develop and hopefully a few years down the road be a great starter for you and your franchise. So, yeah, definitely seems like a move looking forward more than a move for the current Super Bowl window that they are on. But again, if they're on that window and they're as good as everyone thinks they're going to be, the Rams won't be picking in a high order going forward. And it's going to be tougher to get a QB down the road when you're picking so late in the first round in these upcoming years. Also, something to keep in mind, as some other people have pointed out, next year's draft, QBs are definitely going to be on everybody's mind, and some of these other players might drop down further. So that's when the Rams can make a push for a weapon that everybody was hoping for them to do. But overall, I'm comfortable with the decision. I feel Matthew's going to be comfortable with it. Ty's going to be able to grow and develop. And we'll see where things go down the road. But there's been prior QBs where franchises went ahead and took that flyer, and they were much better for it down the road. We're hoping that the Los Angeles Rams are going to be able to do the same. But let's get into boxing next. And a huge boxing day / night we got going on tomorrow, May 2nd. Of course, things will get started early in the morning as Naoya Inoue is going to be taking on Junto Nakatani for the bantamweight undisputed title of the world. You're going to have to get up early. I'm out here in Mountain Standard Time in the States, so I'll be getting up around 4 or 5, making sure that I'm ready to catch that bout. I've got Naoya taking care of business as he usually does, but Nakatani makes things interesting. The guy, somebody's always got to go. The guy's got a bunch of knockouts on his list. But Naoya just seems to always find a way to pull things out. And I think he's going to be able to do the same thing tomorrow morning here in the States. I'm looking forward to this bout. I'm going to be going to sleep here in a little while to make sure that I'm up and ready to go in the morning. But the nightcap is going to be David Benavidez taking on Zurdo Ramirez for Zurdo's cruiserweight titles. This would make David, if he's able to pull it off, a 3-weight division champion. Still eyeing bouts with Bivol, with Arthur Beterbiev. But tomorrow night, it's one that I'm very much looking forward to. Zurdo, of course, being the current champ at cruiserweight, unified champion, the first ever Mexican-born super middleweight champion of the world. He's made his way out to cruiserweight now, and he's really filled up nice. He's ready to make sure he's able to bring his bouts back home with him. And David Benavidez stepping up now. He, at one point, the youngest ever super middleweight champion of the world. Now he's making his way up. Of course, he had that stint there at lightweight where he wasn't able to get all the fights he's wanted. And that guy's not waiting for anyone. He's decided, you know what, I'm going to move up to cruiserweight now, and I'm going to see how many bouts I'm able to bring with me then. This fight is interesting to me. Zurdo being the bigger guy, seems he might have a longer reach. He's going to try to use that size, but David, he's got them fast hands, and he's no small man himself. I do see David Benavidez taking care of business, using that hand speed and that constant pressure that he's known for. And we'll see if Zurdo is going to be a better man for it and be able to hang in there, take some of that punishment, and if he's able to squeeze out the win. I don't see that happening in my mind. I do believe that David Benavidez will be taking care of business, remaining undefeated, and in the end, being crowned a 3-weight champion. Yeah, just a short episode today. That's all I got for you all. I appreciate you listening, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed the latest episode. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow. See you on the next one.